How many lovers have you made today? Chapter 11, Part 2.
How are the grandchildren doing?
Lyra asks, as she levitates a bag to the elderly pony before her.
Fine, just fine. They're always looking for something to do around Canterlot to get their cutie marks.
Lyra giggles.
We had a small trio of fillies back in Ponyville who did the same thing. It's rather common. Why, I was in a group like that when I was their age.
The mare looks around the shop.
Where's the tall fella? What's the name? Anon? Oh, Anon, Mrs. Hazelnut. He's been busy with a few things.
Lyra answers.
Been busy for quite some time.
Hazel comments.
Though I guess ponies these days are busy with something or other.
She takes her bag and puts it on her back.
Thanks again for the order. Toodaloo.
Hazel slowly walks to the front door. But just before she gets there, it opens up to reveal Anon and the princess. Side by side. In fact, Lyra notes from afar that they're uncomfortably close. Last time, stop it, Anon warns. I can barely walk with you pushing into me. Celestia pouts.
Oh, if you wish.
The both of them pause as they spot the elderly pony standing in front of them. Mrs. Hazelnut goes wide-eyed for a moment before trying to kneel before the princess. Seeing how wobbly the old mare is and the bag on her back, Anon quickly grabs the bag with one hand to keep it from falling, and the other to steady her out. No need to bow, Mrs. Hazelnut. Anon lifts her. How's the hip?
I may be old, but not too old to show respect.
She pushes Anon away.
Sorry, Your Highness.
Celestia giggles.
I agree with Anon. No need to go out of your way to bow. I'm not offended.
Anon takes the bag and puts it into her saddlebag. He takes note of the color of the container. I wasn't aware you were allergic to sugar, Mrs. Hazelnut.
Oh yeah, I forget all the time. When I first bought your candy, I almost put myself in the hospital. Then I remembered you saying something about special orders, so I came. And that nice little mare there told me all about it.
She says, pointing to Lyra, who nervously waves at Anon. Good to know. Anon gets up. Take care.
Good afternoon.
Hazel gives a head bow to Celestia.
Princess.
Anon turns his attention back to Lyra as he walks up to the counter. Bonbon in. Lyra finds her gaze drifting to the princess as she spots the ring on her horn. She's thankful that his party has gone off without a hitch. However, there's also something strange about them. It's almost enough to make Lyra's fur stand on edge. The princess is looking at Anon in what she can only describe as a loving way. Lyra? Anon grabs her attention. Is Bonbon here?
No.
Lyra can't shake an odd feeling in her stomach to attack the princess.
Fancy Pants and she are going over a few last-minute details before the festival tomorrow.
Ah, damn it. He whispers under his breath as he looks over Lyra. You'll have to do. Come on. Anon doesn't say another word to Lyra as he walks past her to the back kitchen. Dipper, register please.
I'm on it.
She hops off her chair and walks to the storefront. Anon guides Lyra and Celestia to the back room, but doesn't sit as he wants to make this quick.
Is something the matter?
Lyra asks, taking a few steps away from the princess. Tell Bonbon that I need her to get a few crates of honey. Last time I was here, I noticed we were getting low and forgot to tell her. Anon takes a deep breath in and slowly lets it out. Also, go to the jeweler we went to for Celestia's gift. He should be holding an item I think would be perfect for you to give to Bonbon. Lyra's eyes widen.
What?
Think of it as thanks for that. He points to Celestia's horn.
Is that all?
Lyra keeps sensing something is different between these two. Yeah.
Actually,
Celestia speaks up as she looks down at Lyra.
I'd like to say something.
Anon wasn't expecting Celestia to say anything. Sure. Celestia hasn't turned her gaze from Lyra.
Anon is my stallion.
She proclaims.
You dare touch him, and I'll turn you to ash.
Lyra's eyes widen, as well as Anon's. Okay, a little uncalled for. Anon throws out there.
I find it appropriate.
Celestia remarks.
Considering her past transgressions, I know you've made amends, but her desires are still there. However,
Celestia leans low, pushing her muzzle against Lyra's.
he's mine.
Lyra's teeth grit as her hoof paws the floor. That's why she's been feeling this way. Her entire being is screaming at her to strike the competition before her. But she can't. She loves Bonbon.
Understood.
Lyra says, holding herself back. Celestia smiles as she pulls away and, just as a show, leans over to Anon and kisses him. That alone sets everything in a stone for Lyra. Celestia pulls away just to nuzzle Anon.
All done?
He'll have to ask about that later, but it's probably got something to do with that weird pony relation stuff. Yeah, hold on. Anon looks down at Lyra as she just stands there, almost on the verge of tears. He pats her on the head a few times. See you later, Lyra.
Yeah. See you later.
She answers. With nothing else that needs to be said, Anon leaves with Celestia in tow. Was that necessary? Anon asks, as they pass through the kitchen and into the storefronts. Thanks again, Dipper. She nods.
No problem, boss. I find it entirely appropriate, given your past with her.
Celestia remarks as they step out into the streets of Canterlot.
She needs to know you're not free on the market anymore.
I know, but she's still a friend. Celestia's ears pin back.
Sorry. It just felt like the right thing to do at the time.
Anon sighs. I get there's a lot about your people I still don't understand, especially when it comes to dating, but can you at least give me a heads up before doing something like that?
That's fair.
So, what can you tell me about this dating stuff? Anything I should keep an eye out for? Celestia nods.
A few things. I'll try my best to explain them. First, as the mare you've accepted as a lover, that makes me the lead mare.
Lead mare?
A lead mare is a mare that keeps things together in a herd.
Herd. Celestia blushes.
Yes. If you ever become interested in another, we could form a herd and agree to be with you.
Anon didn't think he'd fall into this conversation again, and so quickly. Though it's far different than what Lyra proposed. For her, it was already going to be a herd, while Celestia is simply explaining that the option is always on the table. Is this a normal thing for ponies? Anon asks, as his thoughts fray.
I wouldn't say it's normal, but it's there should you have an interest.
Celestia realizes she needs to be as clear as she can here.
I'll start from the top and try to explain everything to the best of my ability.
Celestia thinks over how to put this. It seems like a no-brainer, but that's due to the cultural differences.
Lead mare is a symbol. It represents who is accepted first by the other. It's an unspoken rule that should a partner desire, they may entertain the thought of bringing another into their fold. It's a herd's job to protect their stallion, and the lead mare is the one that manages things.
Despite the conversation, Anon can't deny a certain curiosity in the topic. Such as?
Oh, well, where they go, how much time each herdmate gets with their stallion, but the most important job is being the diplomat of sorts for any potential new partners that wish to join. Centuries ago, lone stallions would be hounded by mares. If a lead mare was established, they would calm down, or else incite rage from the entire herd.
This is a lot more complicated than I thought it would be. Anon admits. So, other mares keep their distance? Celestia nods.
I know I seemed rather harsh to your friend, but it was necessary to establish that I was in charge, and that her actions were no longer acceptable. She's still very much in love with you. Even I could see that. And that could prove a problem with our own relationship if she were allowed to roam freely. So, by taking the initiative, I've asserted that you've accepted me as the lead mare. So any further advances are now delegated to me.
So she's not going to try and hit on me? Anon asks, confused.
Yes. Again, to ignore this basic rule is to bring ire from the herd.
Anon takes a moment to let that soak in. This is all so confusing. Celestia chuckles.
I know the feeling. To explain this is like asking you how to breathe. It's difficult, and much of it is purely instinct. However, I believe that this is a good thing. Your friend is now faced with a wall she cannot pass, and this will keep her in check. So there's no need to worry about any unsavory behavior from her anymore.
Anon is still reeling from this information overload as he continues to walk beside Celestia towards the castle. With the silence building, Celestia finds her thoughts drifting to her sister and their own plan of creating a herd.
What are your thoughts on a herd?
Celestia asks. Anon snaps out of a stupor. Tia, this thing between us, it's already a lot to take in. I don't think I can handle the idea of throwing another partner into the mix. Celestia can't shake her worry for her sister, but there's also something else there as well.
To be honest, I agree that it's too early to think of things like that. I want to enjoy you all to myself for the time being.
Anon can't stand when she says things like that. Yeah, well, let's just get something to eat. I'm starving.
Very well.
Twilight is walking around the castle with cheer as she floats her duster and cleans a passing vase. Once done, she skips off to the next vessel in line. She never thought having a job could be so exciting. Spike was right in recommending her a job to Feather Duster. A young mare whose scrutiny almost made Twilight back out at the last second, but overall is sweet and takes pride in what she does. Though, if Twilight had one complaint, it would be the outfit. She glances at her attire from the reflection of a window. She rarely wears clothes, but this French maid outfit is a size too small, so it pushes and hugs various features she has. Feather Duster was adamant about her wearing this getup, stating that all maids are required to wear it, and that she'll make sure to fit her with a proper size later. So, she accepted her terms without a struggle. The fact is, Feather Duster knew Twilight never worked a day in her life, and was mostly taking Spike's word for Twilight's commitment. So, despite the costume lifting her rear and slimming her midsection to the point of it being difficult to breathe, she's okay with this. The pay is decent too, but after some research on the cost of a permit and Canterlot, Twilight will be doing this for quite a while. But she's enjoying this new feeling of independence. She's got a job and she feels as if she's doing something with her time, as opposed to sulking in the library.
Twilight!
A voice shouts. With a salute, Twilight turns around to face the pony behind her.
Yes, ma'am? The princess is having lunch right now. I want you to serve her.
Feather Duster informs her.
Me? It's something we maids do from time to time. I suggest you get used to it. All right.
Twilight relents.
Anything else after that? Take your break and come see me after. I'll have plenty more work waiting. I'm on it, and thank you again for giving me this job. Don't make me regret it.
Feather Duster states as she walks away.
And don't keep them waiting.
Once Feather Duster is gone, Twilight starts walking towards the dining area. After a few hoof steps, she looks down to her uniform for a brief moment.
Oh no, this is going to be embarrassing.
She can't afford to think about this right now. She'll focus on her job and worry about that stuff later. To all the guys out there, you ever just wondered what you'd be like if you're a woman? And also how you'd look like as a maid? I do. Anyways, let's get on to our pretty donators. Top donators: Jessie Smith, Star630, BadassWaffle, Only One Things, Through Orion, and IronSky. Matchback 109, JockeTF, Darkside Rayden, Narwhals, Blackmoonheart, Pastel, Sky, Sauce, and Roland, Sorper Thermore, Trodomicon, Lyra, Rinsub 952, Wool, Crystal, Q, Isol, Shadow Moon, Luigi 88, Chance Across, Pixmook 369, Bobcat GGF, Murder Princess, J1101, Calidus, A Little Mighty, and many more amazing people. Thank you all so much for watching this video and live life to the fullest.